Alright guys, we're going to do a crash course of the last, what was it, 7? Yeah, 7 days. Last week of updates, because I have been slacking and I had to get caught up. This was sent to me by a viewer. It's called the GPL, Great Plains Laboratory toxic non-metal chemicals. I guess just from your pee, they could detect. They screened for 173 different environmental pollutants using 18 different metabolites from a single urine sample. So I mean, they vinyl chloride, benzene. I mean, I guess they could do all this from your pee. I don't know. This was sent to me. You have. I clicked on like, what was it? Order a test. You gotta be a doctor. So I don't know. People are asking, maybe what to get tested for, or where to get tested, or what test to use. Maybe this might be one of them. Something maybe to look into. I don't know the price. I don't even know if it would have to be ordered by your physician, I guess, because if I click on order a test, it asks me if I'm a physician or not. So I guess this is to doctors only. I thought this was something maybe you could order. How you can order them things in the mail and send it in and they test it, but I guess not. It's I guess it's doctor only. They can only get it. So I don't know, maybe something to check into, because I mean, you have vinyl chloride on here, you got benzene. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on here that I'm really surprised they can detect from urine. But all right, now we're going to get into updates. I just wanted to put that out there just in case somebody was interested. All right, we can start all the way back at February 3rd, because I've been slacking. Not really much on this one. They got the 168 surveys. This was where was this? This was done at the Health Assessment Clinic. Residents completed an after chemical exposure community survey. They actually have an after chemical exposure survey. Headaches, anxiety. Everybody's going to have anxiety from this. I think that's not really it's a health condition, but not really. Like, just life in general gives you anxiety. Coughing, fatigue, tiredness, irritation, pain, or burning of the skin. See, one thing I don't see on here is chemical burns to the throat. That seems to be a pretty common thing I hear when I'm out there talking to people about either kids and adult both are affected by this, but that seems to be pretty common. I don't see that on the list. So the median age of respondents was 57, and most participants were over the age of 18, 94%. So, okay. Let's see here. Track removal. This should be completed by April 30th. Some agricultural meeting was supposed to be scheduled. New signage. I have the video of that where they have the keep out water signs at the creek now. Finally. Took them long enough to get it in there after, how many weeks? 3? Takes a long time to make them signs, I guess. The municipal open house, I didn't even bother to even, film that or post that, because it was just, it wasn't very exciting. I don't think you guys would have found it very interesting. So I didn't even bother. Let's see here. The hazardous waste removal. I think the liquid is pretty much all the same. I think they're the same in all of them. But I noticed they really haven't sent much of the solid waste out. You know, you only have 190 tons here, 660, 440, and 440. Indiana, Michigan, East Liverpool, and Grafton, Ohio. So they have all the dirt. Really, not that much was sent out yet, which is kind of weird. But let's see here. They found 6 deceased wildlife animals. Let's see here. 4 raccoons, 1 muskrat, and 1 snapping turtle found in or around Sulphur Run. Animals submitted by the Ohio Department of Natural Resources were too decomposed for lab work. Okay. Student services. That must be homeschooling things set up. And coping with trauma. That's always on there. All right. You guys remember? I covered this. Okay. I was down there. I showed you the area. When the dam broke, when we had all that rain. Well, I still can't get an answer to this. Okay. I feel like I'm like dealing with kindergarten sometimes when I read these, because according to them, the dam worked as expected. They wanted it to overflow. Remind me never to hire them to build a dam with anything, holds back a lot of water. I still can't get an answer from anybody of why was over your plan for it to overflow? Why was that good? Or why was it planned that way? It wasn't planned. You held too much water back. We had too much rain, and both dams gave way. One was a little bigger than the other one, but and the water overflowed. And unfortunately, you guys went into overtime because, like I said, you guys seen how many aeration things they had down there. They pulled everything, and they had everything down there in Leslie Creek. So, but according to them, it was made to overflow. It worked exactly how they wanted to. Track soil removal. Track panels removed from the south line yesterday. Crews began removing the stone, exposing the underlying clay. Due to wet conditions from overnight rain, the excavation of the clay will be delayed until conditions are favorable to secure, remove, and sample the material. Another open house. These are all pretty much the same. 290 tons, 800 tons. There's 440 and 440. So they really haven't moved much dirt, which we'll see later on. Which is kind of an issue with me, and probably a lot of people in town. The health assessment, town hall. Okay, that was down in Egley. I guess pretty much the same thing that I went to on Thursday, where they just have tables set up and you ask questions. The health clinic, coping with trauma, same old. This is the East Palestine Water Department. These are just frequently asked questions. How often is it sampled? Sampling is taking place weekly in conjunction with the Ohio EPA and Norfolk Southern contractors. I really want them testing my water. What kind of protection? They have the 4 Sentinel wells installed between East Palestine Wellfield and Leslie Run. Do they draw water from the city lake, Leslie Run, or surface water? No, it comes from there. They got 5 wells. Where I can find the test results. I looked at them test results. They're kind of confusing. Let's see here. 7th. Let's see here. Ooh, they're still removing the clay. The soil has been removed down to the clay in about 50% of the area. They were supposed to do they were supposed to do sampling. Contaminants are discovered. Contractors will scrape away the clay until sampling comes back with no detection of contaminants. The removal pretty much is the same. Besides, we got 380 tons that went to Grafton. There's another meeting with the farmers. That was yesterday at 2. I didn't go to that. They put the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services awarded $250,000 in emergency funding to the Community Action Agency of Columbiana County to help support emergency response efforts, and follow-up care for people affected by East Palestine train derailment. These funds will support key response activities, including direct health care services, patient screenings, outreach, and enrollment. So they allotted $250,000 to support the after effects of what people's having in town here. The health clinic, coping with trauma, same old. This is the 8th. The Ohio EPA launched a new dashboard. I already did a video on that. It's very confusing, and I don't understand why they're not testing for a lot more chemicals than they are. But this is the survey where they went door to door, which is it's still the same 5 things. Do they not want to list the chemical burns to the throat? Is that just too bad to list? They did March 6th, 320 surveys have been completed, and the top 5 symptoms have not changed. Imagine that. These are the people, they were going door to door asking these questions, I remember. It was the same thing. Headache, anxiety. I don't think anxiety should even be on there but that's my coughing, fatigue, tiredness, irritation, pain, and burning of the skin. The wine. Now this is where I was confused, because the word going around was that the wine. No, it was the government that wouldn't approve Ohio for FEMA. Well, it's the governor holding Ohio back from getting FEMA. This is the letter he wrote. He was requesting a 120-day extension. Usually they only give you 30 days. He just basically goes on what happened, and then the uncontrolled release. I'm going to call it what it is. Residents have reported troubling medical conditions since the derailment and are concerned of the air and water impacted by chemicals released during an incident. He just asked for more time, and they granted it to him. July 3rd. He has till July 3rd now. So he is the one holding back from getting FEMA in here. What the first thing was, what was going around is the government said that they didn't qualify for FEMA. Now, maybe that was in the beginning. Maybe I'm missing something. I didn't dig too deep into this, because I usually try to just work with the facts and leave the legal stuff alone. But now they can qualify for FEMA, but now the governor is holding back FEMA. So I found that really interesting, because I thought the government just didn't approve it. The waste removals, geez, man, 3.36 million gallons have been shipped to Texas. Holy cow. Some of the dirt went up. You got 400, you got 1270, 440, and 750. Still, not much. We heard this, if you guys watched the Senate committee thing, Mr. Shaw, I loved him more squirming in the hot seat. But he announced that they were going to build a new firefighter training, first responder training program together, I guess, for hazmat situations, I'm guessing. That's what I'm getting out of it. If your trains wouldn't, derail in the first place, you probably wouldn't. Well, still is hazmat, but from trucks. But I think that's just we're just throwing money out there and hope it makes people happy. There's the meeting with the farmers, the health clinic, and coping with trauma. Same old. Here's the 9th. This is when they did the committee thing. Ann Vogel was there. Let's see here. Farm and soil sampling. Event focused on the upcoming planting season and addressed concerns about potential agricultural impacts caused by the train derailment. ODA is announced as currently working with the Ohio State University and agricultural partners in Columbia County to develop a plan for testing of milk, eggs, and plant materials. The US EPA will oversee the process by independent contractors, probably hired by Norfolk Southern, to begin collecting soil samples at the locations most likely to be impacted by the railroad. So they're picking the spots they think was most impacted. I find that kind of interesting. Blah 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 blah. Self-run culvert cleaning. Independent contractors today conducted high-pressure washing of the underground culverts of Sulphur Run. The pressurized washing process removed contaminated sediment in the culverts as contributing to indoor air odors in some area homes and businesses. Residents in and around the area may notice a smell from a derailment site. Yes, that smell has picked up. I will say it has. Relocation offers is voluntary and be provided as an option for residents who may feel more comfortable staying elsewhere as the track work progresses. Well, as I got into the other day, they are kind of walking that back a little bit. I didn't hear. I'll have to follow up on what was the outcome of the one. But they were kind of walking it back from the flyer they sent out in the mail. Let's see here. The aquatic life and derailment area. Okay, the Ohio ODNR, Ohio Department of Natural Resources, they're surveying the water daily for signs of aquatic life. They've observed fish in Bull Run and Little Beaver Creek. ODR has also received reports of live fish in Leslie Run. I haven't seen any, but Leslie Run's pretty big, so it might be towards the end of it. Listen to this. An initial spill, ODR estimates approximately 38,222 minnows ranging in size between 1 and 3 inches were killed. It also estimates the total number of aquatic life killed as a result of the derailment, including fish, crayfish, amphibians, microinvertebrates, to be approximately 5,500. Wow. There was a lot of dead fish. And frogs, and I guess animals too. 5,500, wow. Let's see here. The waste removal, pretty much, yeah, it's pretty much the same, which is still disturbing. The medical provider webinar. Okay, so more than 75 providers attended the webinar in total. Topics include chemical residents may have been exposed to, symptoms residents are reporting in health assessment clinics, guidance to treatment and testing, and list of resources, and additional providers were able to participate in a question and answer sessions. So, I guess they had a big webinar to address the health and concerns of residents. It's supposed to be Tuesday and Wednesday. I didn't hear nothing about that. Health clinic. Let's see here. The resource fair. That's what I covered. Coping with trauma is always in there. Okay, let's go. This is today. The delay in contaminated soil removal. There's currently a pile of approximately 24,400 tons of soil waiting for removal. And there only 2,980 tons has actually been removed from the site. The WIND and EPA remain concerned that threats of future contamination and future injury to public health cannot be fully eliminated until the contaminated soil is removed from East Palestine. Well, that's at least one thing we agree on. So, this is how they are storing the soil. These are the big mounds covered in plastic. And well, you can see the big old water thing in the center of the tracks. But you tell me none of that's, there's no water runoff from that. I find it hard to believe, but hey. That's it. Removal is pretty much all the same. Oh, no, we got 4.18 million went to Texas now. Texas, you're getting bombarded down there. The water testing. They published 2 new data tables to more easily communicate information related to chemical detections of weekly sampling of raw well water and treated drinking water from East Palestine drinking system. See, I like how they word this, though. At this time, no chemicals associated with the derailment have been detected in either raw or treated water. Okay, how about the chemicals that are a result of the controlled release, or what vinyl chloride breaks down into when it hits air? I like that. No chemicals associated with the derailment. What about the chemicals that were made because of what you guys did? Trace amounts of byproducts of drinking water chlorination, the only substance found in the treated water. Only water that has been treated is distributed to customers. Blah, blah. Let's see, their total results are in. It says no evidence to support chemical toxicity as a cause of death. The 6 animals found, the 4 raccoons. Well, we're missing an animal. So, because we're still waiting on results for 4 raccoons and 1 muskrat. We're missing an animal. Maybe I supposed to say 5 deceased. I don't know. The meeting, a health clinic, and coping with trauma. This is just an article I found on delaying on, issuing FEMA. What's the last thing we got? Well, this is their new drinking water results thing. What did I want? I wanted to show. I don't remember what it was. I didn't have it open, so it must not have been important. So they're taking samples, if I can think of the right word. Samples from it takes a look at the wells and the Sentinel wells. Pretty much every 5 days or so. So it looks like this is 24th, 28th, 23rd, 24th. Yeah, so Eurofins is the laboratory that EPA sends to, and the independent is Summit Environmental Technologies. So I'm taking that's the Norfolk Southern contracted company to do the water testing. Oh yeah, this is a whole bunch of just mumble jumble that. Alright, we ain't gonna get into all that. What is up with my mouse today? I want to work. Alright, guys. That was a quick go through of the last 7 days of their daily release thing they put out. They work every day except weekends. So I'm not sure what the weekends bring. The weather wasn't great here today. I know it was raining. It was cold. I was out handing out water today, and it was miserable. But you got to do what you got to do. So I don't know really what the weekend's going to bring. I guess it'll be a surprise to me too. I've been out getting video, but it's more of a more documentation type video. I don't think you guys would find very interesting. I've had a lot of the attorneys that are doing the class action suit ask if they can use some of my footage, since I've basically been everywhere almost every day, and they've asked if they could use some of my footage if they need to in their case, which I feel free. Anybody can use it. That's why I put it out there. I just want to get the truth out there, what's really going on. So a lot of it is I'm just documenting, the creeks and, the water runoff on the roads and, stuff like that. It's like this not very exciting stuff you guys would probably find exciting. But like I said, it's more of a documentation type thing. I try to get out every day to document, everything, what's moved, what's different here, what are they doing different here. So I don't post every one of the videos. I save them, but I don't post them because it's just it's not very exciting to watch. So, other than that, like I said, I don't know what the weekend's going to bring. I don't even know what the weather's supposed to be. So, until then, there is your quick 7-day recap of what's going on in town. We do have that at Zoom meeting type thing with the independent contractors and stuff on Sunday at 5 if they didn't move it. but as of now, it's Sunday at 5. I will stream that because that should be interesting. Because the independent contractors have been disputing. They've been finding way worse readings than the EPA and the DEPA and stuff. So it might be very interesting. I heard they did put out their findings, but I didn't find it yet. I'll just, if I do find it, I'll do that in some videos so I don't sit this one ain't too long. It's already half an hour or so. All right, guys. That's it. I just want to give you guys a quick update. I'm caught up till today. They don't work weekends, so you won't get your next update like this till Monday. So but that doesn't mean I'm not going to be out and about this weekend and see what's going on. So all right, guys, thank you. If I get my mouse to work, I don't know what's up with my mouse there.